cold Scottish Highlands lies a lake so deep and dark it swallows light itself. They say something moves beneath its surface, a creature that should not exist. No bones, no body, yet never gone. Is the Loch Ness Monster just a myth, or science's greatest blind spot? Loch Ness isn't just deep. It's unusually deep. With an average depth of over 430 feet and sections nearing 750 feet. But what truly distorts human perception is the water itself. Peat from ancient forests turns the lake almost black. Light disappears just meters below the surface. A floating log, a lost seal, or synchronized fish movements can easily resemble something enormous. And the human brain, wired to detect threats, fills in the rest. When people talk about the Loch Ness Monster, they often think of hoaxes, fake photos, media exaggeration. But there's a deeper problem. If Nessie doesn't exist, why have so many people claimed to see it? This story doesn't begin with cameras. It begins with witnesses. In the year 565, Saint Columba described a violent water beast. In medieval times, such creatures were often symbolic. But what's unsettling is this. His description, a massive, aggressive creature from deep water, would reappear almost unchanged over 1,000 years later. By the 20th century, the accounts became more detailed, more specific, and harder to dismiss. In July 1933, George Spicer and his wife were driving beside the loch. They claimed a massive creature, taller than a car, with a long neck and bulky body, crossed the road and slid into the water. Spicer was not a sensationalist. He was a respected businessman. He said, "I cannot explain what I saw." Months later, Hugh Gray captured the first photograph of Nessie. Blurry, unstable, unclear. Yet that very ambiguity made it terrifying. In 1954, the fishing boat Rival 3 detected a large object on sonar. It moved alongside the vessel, beneath the surface, not seen by eyes, but by instruments. Then, in 1960, aeronautical engineer Tim Dinsdale filmed what he believed was a living creature. He analyzed frame by frame, studied the motion, and concluded, "This is not a wave. This is alive." What makes these testimonies disturbing is not their perfection. It's that they brought no reward, no money, no fame, no proof to sell. Only an experience that followed them for life. Yet there is a troubling pattern. Most modern sightings occurred after Nessie became famous. The human brain doesn't just record images, it interprets them. And once a legend exists, we often see what we expect to see. So the real question isn't, were they lying? It's, can humans collectively believe in something simply because it's too powerful to let go? Before 1933, Nessie was just a local story. Then, everything changed. A new road was built along Loch Ness. For the first time in history, people could observe the lake every single day. And something happens when thousands of eyes focus on darkness. Reports began to surface, more frequent, more similar. British newspapers moved quickly. They needed a story, and Loch Ness needed a monster. In 1934, a photograph appeared. One black and white image. Blurry, unstable, but powerful enough to change history. A long neck rising from the water. The photographer was presented as a respected surgeon. The image became known as the surgeon's photograph. It went global. Nessie was no longer a myth. It had a shape, a face, evidence. For decades, this was considered the strongest proof of Nessie's existence. But there was a detail few noticed. No original negative was ever shown, and the creature's size was always assumed. Then, in 1994, the truth surfaced. Relatives of those involved confessed. The creature was just a small model mounted on a toy submarine, a carefully constructed hoax. But the disturbing part isn't the lie. It's this. For 60 years, the world believed it. The photograph didn't prove Nessie existed. It created Nessie in the human mind. And sometimes, an image is more powerful than the truth. If Nessie exists, it cannot hide forever. That was science's assumption, and for nearly a century, humans have sent machines into the depths of Loch Ness. The first major expeditions began in the 1960s. Dozens of sonar devices were deployed across the lake. The goal was simple: detect any large moving object beneath the surface. And then, sonar picked up anomalies, large moving masses, not small fish, not typical schools of life. But sonar doesn't show shape, only mass. In the 1970s, the Academy of Applied Science from the US joined the hunt. They used high-powered side-scan sonar. Some images appeared to show a large object with something resembling a neck and body. But science does not accept appears to be. No body, no biological tissue, no physical evidence. In later years, mini-submarines and unmanned underwater vehicles were sent to the lake floor. They scanned meter by meter, crevice by crevice, the deepest trenches. No monster, but also an unusually empty lake bed. In 2019, a new approach was introduced: environmental DNA. No need to see the creature, just its biological traces in the water. Hundreds of samples were collected at every depth. The result? No DNA of giant reptiles, no unknown species. But one anomaly remained: a significant amount of European eel DNA. Some scientists suggest unusually large eels combined with poor visibility, seiche waves, and human expectation may have created Nessie. Yet even they admit the lake has not been fully explored. And science cannot prove non-existence. It can only say, so far, we have not found it. After all the expeditions, the machines, and millions spent, Nessie has not been found. But it has never been proven not to exist. Science demands evidence. Belief does not. Someone who has never seen Nessie asks, "Where is the body?" Someone who saw something in that mist asks back, "Then what did I see?" Two questions, no shared frame of reference. And Loch Ness exists precisely in that gap. There are things science calls illusions, and things humans call experiences, and they are not always opposites. If Nessie is a real biological creature, it must leave traces. But if Nessie is a symbol, its traces are everywhere. In books, in memory, in hundreds of conflicting testimonies that all share one thing: the witness believes. And the most unsettling question isn't, does Nessie exist? It's, if Nessie appeared tomorrow, would we believe it? Or would we say, science has finally explained what we were never sure we saw?